Warning. The Dragon Between podcast may contain language and adult humor that is unsuitable for those 13 years and younger. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, hello there. Zara Highhill here. Thanks for tuning in to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition D&D story based on Keith Baker's steampunk land of Eberron. We release a new episode every week, so be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasts are made. Now, let's begin the adventure, but remember, sometimes the greatest adventures are the secrets that we keep within.
When we last met, the characters continued to delve the tunnels of this strange place that seemed to be permeated with magic. After a near fatal incident with the group's fighter, Goender, the group pressed on through the tunnels, discovering a strange flying cat that pestered them and followed them around as they continued on through the tunnels, and were eventually led to a large open air chamber that seemed to go stretch up into the dark above, seemingly forever. And within this large chamber, they saw a strange hut perched on top of what appeared to be a gnarled tree stump that was just above a lava flow that intersected the middle of the chamber and stretched out towards the edges. Within this chamber, they discovered an old woman who referred to herself as Baba Plaga. This individual was courteous and seemed interested in the group, in particular in how they had arrived within this place. And after a few niceties and conversation, the group were able to ascertain that this individual appeared to have an immediate way to exit this place and return from whence they came, but would require a bit of blood and the strange puzzle box, which the woman referred to as a shard of Erebus. The strange woman also seemed to take an interest in the group's ranger, eventually revealing that she was a descendant of hers, of the family of Aisha, and referred to a strange prophecy in regards to the heirs of Tarkanin. The group were given a map that detailed the various tunnels and antechambers of this place, and were told that they would need to bring an ingredient, that being the brain and spinal fluid of an elemental djinn. The group were given a destination and found themselves heading down the twisting tunnels towards a vault, which opened with the shard of Erebus, and within found 3 rows of pedestals, of which contained urns. The group continued into the chamber and began inspecting the urns, finding that one of them was broken, and apparently a poor individual had been bisected by presumably the very large door. As the group continued into the chamber and began inspecting the urns, one was removed from the pedestal by Eli, which seemed to trigger a trap which released a voluminous gas into the chamber, a poisonous gas which immediately made the group begin to cough and lose their vitality, and the door suddenly slammed closed. As the chamber filled up with the gas, the group scrambled to find a means of stopping this gas from coming out of the pedestal, and eventually, with quick thinking from their wizard/artificer friend Zito, were able to stop this pedestal from emitting the gas and open the chamber once more. With some quick thinking from Eli, snatching a second urn and teleporting out of the chamber before it sealed off once again, the group now find themselves in the cramped confines of the tunnels of this place, just outside of the vault door. As you all begin looking at each other, inspecting one another to make sure you're all okay, you happen to glance behind Gunthrow and notice that the strange flying cat is no longer following you all. Gone in an instant, in a blink of an eye.
Well, I'm glad everyone made it out. That was close. Shall we return? Or we could check out the Chambers of Greed. Just think of all the treasure we'd find.
Is that what we're doing? To the chamber?
Well, we still need to find the parts that we need.
We need the brain or something, right?
Yeah, but a brain and spinal fluid.
I mean, we have that. It's just if we want to get more.
Eli says, as he hefts a large urn in his arms, hugging it to his chest.
What, there's a djinn in there?
Well, I could see. I want to investigate the urn.
Okay, go right ahead. You can roll an investigation check if you'd like to look at it and give it a once over. So, okay, so with a 13, the urn resembles all of the other urns that you noticed in the chamber, with the exception that it's painted differently. It also has that stopper on the very top of it, like an Onfala, with this sort of a strange melted golden seal. And it has sort of like it's a different type of a pearlescent style paint than the others that were within the chamber. You only caught a glimpse of the first urn before you ferreted it away into your bag of holding. This one is a different color than the one that you have in your bag, Eli.
Which color was the one I have in my bag? And which color is the one is this one?
The first one, through your quick glance, it was sort of a sky blue color. This one appears to be almost like a greenish hue. Like instead of a sky blue, this one is sort of like a blue green, almost like water. And this one appears to have sort of a wavy pattern on the top and the bottom of the urn, towards the base of the urn, and at the top you can see sort of a embroidered, or not embroidered, sort of like a stenciled waving pattern at the top and at the bottom.
I'm going to pull out the other one. Switch them, put this one in my bag and pull out this one. Okay. And I want to see if I can notice anything different about this one.
Okay. Giving it the same once over, looking at this one. I don't have to roll another investigation, but you can if you like.
Yes, I do.
Go right ahead. Hey, not too bad. A little bit better than last time.
Can I use an inspiration?
You can totally use an inspiration.
Same result.
It's a good thing you have two of those. So this one, similar, the pearlescent sky blue paint. Same type of, it seems to be the same weight and size as the other one. And there is an intricate pattern, which is, instead of a wavy stencil at the top and the bottom, this one appears to be sort of like a swirl, like a repeating swirl over and over again.
Have I seen anything like this? Have I ever read anything about the wavy patterns mean anything?
You can roll a history check if you like. I mean, you of course, I had you roll last time in regards to your knowledge of these types of things. So you, of course, would know that most jinn are held within a vessel of some sort. Typically summoned in some way or fashion, either by speaking a command word or simply opening it, or sometimes they're stored in a lamp and it requires you to rub the lamp. These are, of course, all folklore and stories that you've heard in your time training with the 12. And of course, you would also know, based on your 18 of history, you recall that most vessels of this nature also are marked based on the elemental plane that these types of creatures are from. They're typically marked in a fashion on their vessel to signify what elemental plane they're from.
And would I know that the blue one would represent water, and the green one, sky, that would represent which plane?
You're not sure. You've never actually seen one of these in person, and you've heard of them. Yeah, you've only read. You've seen drawings of different types. I'll tell you what. Make an intelligence check. We'll see if you can recall examples of the rune carvings.
Okay. Straight intelligence?
Just a straight intelligence check.
All right. Come on, no. 7. Oh man, it's been a long time.
It's been a while. Unfortunately, you can't quite recall what the different. You do know that there are 4 different types. You do recall that. Pretty rudimentary for your studies within the 12.
Yeah.
So my question to you now is, what would you like to do? What would the rest of the party like to do?
To the chamber, agreed, I suppose. Maybe we can find that other part.
Would you like me to mark on the map the way to the chamber?
If you could, please.
Sure. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and reveal all of this because you have the map. I'm just going to reveal the whole map. How about that, guys?
Yeah.
Give it a moment because it's a larger than normal map, even though it's small file size. It's a big map. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that to load, what are the rest of the party doing?
Lethana looks over to Ganthrol and says,
Yes.
She says, beep, beep.
yeah, sorry guys. Sorry that all this... It's so out of the way of what we are trying to do, but thanks for being here.
That's a good point, Sabrina. I just read what you wrote in the chat. You guys haven't haven't changed out of your attire from the party, as far as I know.
I think I have.
Okay.
Because
I know Zito has.
Yeah, I don't think Zito was wearing party clothes.
I'm pretty sure I was pretty urgent to get out of my to get back into my split mail.
Yeah, I thought we went back into our armor before we chased after them. I could be wrong though.
Lethana just kind of looks at everyone and says, I know this is very strange, and we're all still trying to get Elric and get back to our lives, but thank you for being here, and I hope that we can get it done soon. And I know this person we've met is a bit strange from apparently my family, so I would try not to get all of you too involved if I can help it.
So what help is it that you need?
Well, It's a really long story. I don't want to take up too much time, but as we're traveling, maybe I can...
Yeah, explain it to us.
Ooh,
Hold on, guys, sorry.
no, that's a map. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and share the map with the party and show them what I'm seeing now.
Okay. As you unfurl the map, you all see now this very, very old parchment that this map is adorned on, which is a simply drawn map, but drawn well enough that you can see clearly the twists and turns of this place.
It's oddly quiet here. What happened to that cat?
I was hungry.
Just kind of disappeared while all the commotion was going on in the room.
Well, Gunny, I suppose you're kidding, but if you did actually eat that cat, you're doing us all... Man, that thing really creeped me out.
It wasn't a cat.
Definitely wasn't a cat.
Tasted like chicken.
So, where should we go?
Yes, what trail should we take? You know, I just want to say something real quick. I'm really glad we found the map for this part. Looking at the map right now, this looks confusing as heck. It's like a labyrinth up there.
Yep. There's a reason for that.
Do we see on the map the marked spot of the place?
It'd be in the upper right-hand corner of the map. You see a large antechamber marked off.
Well, I don't know that we have enough time considering we have to get back to the airship. However, I suppose if we're going, let's get going.
As you all continue to check one another out in the quiet confines of this tunnel, hearing the echoing, drafty tunnels all around you.
We would like to start moving towards that area, and out of game, my map keeps crashing, so we're gonna keep moving.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, if you'd like, I will move everyone to that area. You have the map, and you have all of the markers on said map to avoid all of the traps. So, in the essence of speeding things along, I will take you guys there. Are you avoiding the main chamber?
And we have to go through the main chamber, don't we?
Yeah,
Nope.
we do.
Actually, you don't.
Oh no, we can take that north passage.
Yeah, if you went north, it would wind around and take you there.
Okay, maybe we should do that. I'm relaunching Fantasy Grounds.
Sure.
My thing also froze.
My apologies. It's probably my fault because of how big the map is.
You're good. Just letting you know why you just had a random player drop out.
Just pay no attention to me dropping the entire party in lava.
We trust you,
Ow,
Jeremy.
ow.
We trusted you.
That was your first mistake.
All right.
Dang, this map is huge.
Yeah, I made this map in like a half an hour. Thanks to Derek's generous gift of the map maker software. Alright, so you make your way through the winding tunnels, finding no resistance, and eventually you come to the tunnel that leads towards the chamber of the greed pile. And you can see now that there are sprinkles of coins that seem to lead almost like breadcrumbs towards this chamber. And you can now see that there is a thin stone walkway that stretches off towards the center of the chamber. This howling wind, which seems to emanate far below this open area. Just pitch black darkness above and below. You can't see the bottom and you can't see the top. It's like a massive tube, if you will, or a massive lava tube with no lava present. And at the center of the chamber, you see absolute piles of treasure. Chests. Errant coins, this way and that way.
Careful, Eli.
Go get it, Eli.
I'm too busy trying to figure this out. Although I do, can I pick up the coin off the ground? Are they real?
They are real coins.
Ooh.
And upon the area that you're all standing within now, you had plenty of warning from the map that there was a trap door leading towards this long bridge that stretches out towards the center of the large chamber. So you were all able to figure out a way to circumvent, bypass, go over it, fly over it, wedge something within the device to prevent the trapdoor from triggering.
Zito's gonna step out onto the bridge.
Okay, it's a bit fiddly. A few coins as you begin walking across. You can feel the wind almost seemingly blasting you as you exit the tunnel proper into the chamber. The wind seems to almost intensify as you begin walking across. Make a dexterity save. Oh!
Nice.
So you nearly slipped off. You feel as though, even though there are errant coins scattered across this bridge, there are many places that seem to be covered in a dark colored slime of some sort. And you nearly lose your footing and fall off of the bridge.
I don't like this place. Perhaps someone who can fly should go across.
What do we need from here again?
Eli wants some greed.
Ah.
I mean, it'd be nice to have some coins for the party. As he's totally picking up all the ones off the ground, putting in his bag.
I guess Lethana will copy him.
Okay.
I'll take a look at the coin first to see if there's anything fishy about it.
Did you want to investigate said coin or just give it a glance?
I'll investigate.
Go right ahead. What is the rest of the party doing? Zito, do you continue across the bridge?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm staying on the safe side as well.
Alright. What about you, Goender?
I'm staying right here, unless if it looks like someone's in trouble.
And Gunthral, are you going across the bridge or are you staying with the group?
Look like I'm walking, but I'll hover.
Okay. You watch as Gunthral begins treading across the bridge, seemingly millimeters from the surface of the bridge, and begins making his way across towards the center of this chamber. What about you, Koratari?
I will fly behind Gunthrow on my broom.
Okay.
I'll pick up Zito along the way since he's in front of me.
Okay. Like a little.
What are you doing?
Like a little infant, you lift Zito up and carry him in the crook of your elbow.
Well, I don't want you to...
You're awfully close to the edge.
Don't worry. I'm used to height.
Do you wish to go straight towards the center of the chamber, towards the piles and piles of wealth?
Is that where you want to go, Zito?
I want to get back on the ground.
Okay, I'll drop him back down on the bridge.
Okay. I won't be a jerk and make you roll another dexterity save. I'll say the Gunthrow, unless Gunthrow says otherwise, he gently placed you back down where you were. And Lithana, with your roll that I saw you do for your investigation, the coin appears to be a very old minting. But it does appear to be a Galifar, gold Galifar, which you're holding in your hands right now, which is, of course, the coin of the realm.
Well, guys, looks like there's very old coins, but they seem okay.
And it seems to be coated in some sort of a muck. It took you a little bit of like rubbing to actually like inspect the coin a bit. A lot of the fine details were almost like it had been sitting in muck for a very long time, and it was just absolutely coated.
Does the muck like burn my hands or anything?
It does not.
Okay, I just shrug and keep picking up coins.
Okay. So Gunthrow and Koratari, you're making your way towards the bridge, that's correct? Across the bridge, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll watch as Gunthrow and Koratari make it to the this apex of this tower in the middle of Oblivion, if you will, covered in wealth. And from where you are standing, you see jewels, coins of many different types, heaping sacks, some torn in places, and coins are spilling out of those sacks. You see several chests which are sort of haphazardly left in areas around the edges, seeming of the very edges of the apex of this very tall stone edifice.
I have a question for you, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
For gust of wind, I can make it go in any direction I would choose for the spell's duration. Can I make it into a small tornado that can suck up these coins into air and then fly them in the air into my...
I would say as you know what? I'll tell you what. Make an Arcana check. We'll see if you can actually do that. 'Cause that seems like something that you would want to like practice trying to do. Maybe today is the day that you start trying to practice with your spell. I would say that
13.
you could hoover up a few coins, but unfortunately it's the wind is not strong enough to make all the wealth come straight to you like a vacuum or like a tornado sucking it up. It kind of scatters a few this way and that way. You're able to grab a few of them out of the air as you're directing your gusts of wind. But you get a sense that with a bit of practice, you might be able to either turn this into a neat party trick or turn this into another useful way to use the spell.
Right, I have, let's see here. I have 2 second level spells, and it's a second level spell, so I'll try that twice. See what I can do with it.
Well, it's a cantrip, isn't it?
Ooh, it's a second level spell.
Oh, it is. Okay. Did you want to just start hoovering up as much treasure as you can?
If I could, and if it doesn't seem like it's working or it's blowing everything away, I'll just try to see if I can't keep it in a tornado and send it across a bridge and die across.
Okay. I would say
just dump a pile of crap there.
I would say that you would be able to gather a relatively large pile of copper coins, what appear to be some electrum coins, and you're also able to hoover up some gold, not a whole lot. Some of what you intended to bring towards you just sort of scatters off of the edge and into the abyss. So all in all, you're able to pull 1,200 copper pieces towards you, 30 electrum pieces, and 70 gold pieces.
Because I can maintain that for 1 minute per spell. So that's 2 minutes of vacuum cleaning.
Correct. So that equates to what you'd be able to do with your first casting, if you're casting it twice.
So I get all that with 2 casting?
No, that's just from the first casting.
Okay. And then I'll try a second one. Do I need to roll again to see if I can improve, or you just want me to keep doing it?
I'll say that each time you try this, we'll say that every day you try to use the spell beyond essentially you would spend some downtime and you'd roll an Arcana to see if you get better at it. Eventually you won't have to roll an Arcana check anymore.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, so on your second casting, you are able to suck up 140 gold, 1,500 copper, and 10 electrum pieces.
Okay, I'll mark another spell off.
I assume you're just like holding your bag up and you're just like vacuuming the gold into the bag?
Yeah, but if I can pick up more of that stuff and like have it fly across a bridge and pick up all the pieces on the bridge and then drop it right in front of Ari, then...
Okay.
If I pick up Zito along the way, then I'll pick him up too.
What is the distance of your Gust of Wind spell?
Let me take a quick peek.
60 feet.
Okay. So we'll say that for all intents and purposes, that's what you're able to send across the bridge. Everything else just sort of fell off the sides. Like you intended to take more, but a lot of it just sort of fell off the sides. And we'll say that you're able to do that from one of the large piles where the bags and errant coins and the chests which are piled up.
Okay.
And as you turn around and look, you notice that some of the piles appear to be shifting on their own. You haven't, just glancing at them, you haven't touched them, and the wind hasn't intensified, but they appear to be shifting. The bags are moving, and the coins are they seem to be moving on their own, like perhaps something's underneath.
And how tall is this area right here?
This area seems to go on forever. As you look up, it goes. Yeah, it's this. The dark areas represent an abyss that seems to drop forever, and as you look up, you can see that the walls stretch up forever, similar to that chamber where you saw the old woman.
Okay. Well, I'm doing that for 2 minutes, so.
Okay.
Everyone else can.
What would everyone else like to do? What about you, Koratari? You're just floating on your broom near Gunthrow watching him do this?
No, I'm looking around. Do I see anything other than the treasure in this room?
You see some gemstones scattered here and there. Just like errant, like a few here and there. And almost like someone took a handful and scattered them like rice across the floor. And you also notice what Gunthrow notices, which is that some of the piles seem to be shifting. Can't really see the culprit or what is doing it.
Gunthrow, I think we need to go. She kind of shifts her eyes back and forth, and then I would like to grab 2 bags of treasure and yeet them across the bridge if I can, or fly them.
I would say, let's see.
Go ahead and roll a yeet roll.
Let's see. I'll tell you what. let's roll a strength check to see if you can hurl one of them across. Okay. So you go to toss one of the bags, and as you grab the bag to pull it, it doesn't budge. And as you're holding on to the bag suddenly begins to become fluid-like. And you realize that it's now holding you. And the entire pile around the bag begins to transform into a viscous, gold-colored, mucky substance.
I'm gonna try to let go of the bag and like pull my hands away.
It does not let go. In fact, let's see. You take one acid damage as this horrible viscous substance now is sticking to your hand. And then suddenly a strange pseudopod, like a sticky, not too dissimilar from the cubes that you encountered before, sort of stretches out as it attempts to whap you. Let's roll for initiative. I will roll for you, Koritari. Say, for all intents and purposes, you were right there. So you're at the center of the apex of this tower, this towering stone monolith that you're on right now. And as you reach down to grab the bag, it suddenly shifted and melted and seemed to turn into a gold-colored pudding-like creature. And I will roll initiative for you, Koritari. Okay. Gunthrower, you have a moment to turn around, and as you turn and look, you see that some sort of pile of pudding is wrapping itself around Koritari. What would you like to do?
First, can I grab hold of her?
I'm sure you can try to grab her and pull her away.
If I grab her arm and not pull her away, can I cast a spell?
I would say that as part of your movement, you could grab and pull her away, so you'd still have your action, and she would not take whatever this is isn't like grappling her; it's just touching her, where she grabbed what was once a bag.
Alright, I'm gonna grab her and fly.
Okay.
And all this black is like open space?
Yes. It's essentially it's a drop that seems to go forever.
I'm gonna pull her back there with me.
Okay. And as you pull away from the substance, it tries to sort of continue forming that pseudopod-like arm, but doesn't try to whap at her with it. And as you start to move away from it, the form starts to like shift. As you glance back, you can see now that it appears to be now taking the form of the piles of bags and treasure chests once again.
Can I cast a spell?
You absolutely can.
Nope, I'll hold. I'll pass my.
All right, Zito, it's your turn. You just watched, for some strange reason, Gunthrow grabbed Koritari and flew off with her, away from the pile of treasure. And you saw sort of a strange amorphous form, like a pile of gold pudding, which seemed to try to wrap around and grab at Koritari.
Gunther, what's going on?
There's another one of those pseudopods over here.
Can I see it from where I am?
You absolutely can, or at least you're seeing what appears to be the gold pudding now settling and reverting back to what appeared to be a pile of treasure.
Zito is gonna cast Firebolt at that ooze.
Go for it. That is most definitely a hit as you reach out and hurl your little plasma ball of fire towards the creature. You hear sort of like a plopping noise as it impacts into the surface of it. And Auri, it's your turn.
How much can I see that's going on up there? Can I see anything at all or tell anything at all?
You see Zito standing in the middle of the bridge. With your dark vision, you just kind of see... It looked like Zito just fired a firebolt at one of the piles of treasure. And it made sort of a loud plopping noise. So you can see the direction and the destination of where he fired that firebolt. But it is completely dark, so you can't really make out anything. You don't have a source of light. With your dark vision, you just see gray shapes.
Okay, I'm just going to cast Produce Flame so that myself and my teammates behind me can hopefully see a little bit more.
Okay.
It's 10 feet and then another 10 feet.
Did you want to stay where you are, or did you want to go towards your friends?
I don't want to try to go across that bridge. I don't want to
Okay.
fall.
Fair enough.
And that'll be my turn.
Alright. Ender, it's your turn. Auri suddenly produced flame illuminating this area.
This is such a hard decision to make. I don't see any of my comrades in threat. Do I?
You at the moment you don't see any type of threat per se. You see Auri producing flame. You see Zito standing on the very precarious bridge, the wind whipping around him, and you can see in the distance, beyond the light, you just see blackness, and you can just make out like the piles of treasure, just shades of gray. Just piles at the top of this, where the thin bridge snakes along towards that platform, if you will.
So I can't see the gold pudding.
I would say that you would not see where, at this point, you probably would not see necessarily where Zito had cast his spell, since you were a little bit further back into the tunnel.
Yeah. Okay, well then I'm going to step right there, and then I'm not in danger right there, am I? From
No, you're well still within the tunnel and where the wind wouldn't whip you off of the bridge.
Alright, I'm gonna pull up my crossbow. And
Okay.
I'm going to wait there and yell out if everyone's open.
Do you want to hold your action with your crossbow?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Awesome. Okay. And then in that case, Koratari, it's your turn. So you've been pulled into the air. You're no longer riding your broom. Gunthor has grabbed you away. He's holding you in the air above the abyss. Away from whatever that was.
I will attempt to use my blowgun and blow some darts at it.
Okay. Unfortunately, you don't have a light source and you can't see it. There's no source of light in this place. You kind of were just following after Gunthor. Like you could see like the bags like up close as you got to that platform, but it's just been pitch black and you can just hear the howling wind.
Alright, you grab me off my broom so I don't have my broom anymore?
I mean, you didn't leave it behind. I'll say that you brought it with you so you can hop back on it.
Cool, then I'm gonna hop back on it and go back over toward the party.
Okay, you can totally do that. I believe you can go pretty far on that broom. You can make it all the way across the bridge. I will double check that because I'm not 100% sure what the distance on the broomifying is. Looks like you can go up to 50 feet. So we'll put you there. Unless you'd like to use that and your action, you can make it all the way back to the tunnel with your friends.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that.
Sure. Do you want to go beyond them or just to where Ender is standing? Just out of the way of the wind.
Where Ender is.
Okay.
And I'll in there and say, oof, thank God for Gunny, but I'm okay.
Okay. Eli, it is your turn. Do you stop staring at the urn long enough to figure out what's going on?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't. I want to... I'm just investigating this thing.
Okay. So...
after I pick up the coins around me,
Sure.
I can't leave it.
Gunther, you hear the sounds of shifting coins. And the piles of gold begin moving. And are moving towards the bridge now. And sort of climbing, you can watch as parts of it are reaching out like tendrils and pulling itself along. This sticky gold-colored pudding-like creature pulling itself along, seemingly totally unaffected by the wind. And Ender, do you take your shot, or do you want to lose your action?
I'm gonna take my shot.
Go for it. And Gunny, you weren't holding action, correct?
No.
Okay. Okay. Your crossbow bolt lances out in the darkness. You hear it impact, sort of like a plooping noise. And Koratari, it's your turn. Ender has just fired a crossbow bolt off in the distance from where you just came. As a held action, I believe you just get the one action.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Thank you.
But if someone wants to correct me later, they can.
I will hold my action.
Okay. The pudding now... Zito, this pudding suddenly, seeming to sense you, it zooms across the bridge towards you. And it's your turn, Zito. It's nearly upon you.
That's terrifying. Sorry, Zito, but...
Give me 1 second. Fantasy Grounds is being a bit...
Would you like to hold your action?
Fantasy Grounds just being slow.
Oh, that's weird. Is it
I think the map's just too big for me.
Oh. Is it doing that to everyone else?
No, I'm good. Mine's
it
working
did for
fine.
me. I restarted.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to restart once, but then it's been working fine after you revealed everything.
Alright, it might just be catching up to itself. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. Zito is going to cast Expeditious Retreat on himself. So I can use my bonus action to take a disengage.
Alright. So that was your action to cast it? And you are able to get away from the creature before it can make a reaction and attack you.
Expeditious Retreat is a bonus action.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Oh, so you still have your action. Oh, wait.
Yes.
So you can use a
When I
bonus action
cast
to
the spell, I
disengage.
can.
Okay, I was gonna say you still have your action, then you
Yep.
could use that. You can get away and use an action still. Then.
No, it says when I cast a spell, I get a free dash from it.
Okay.
But when I get far enough away, I'm going to send out one of my turrets and place on the bridge.
Okay.
And I'll need it to make a dexterity saving throw.
Roll a d20. You place it on the bridge, and you watch as the little thing sort of starts to walk forward, and it goes whoosh, and is gone.
But it has a climbing speed. It doesn't just fall. It has a climbing speed. It can go anywhere.
Does it have a spider climb?
Yeah, it can climb up walls and stuff.
No, that's what I meant, though, is it has an actual spider climb.
Let me double check.
Okay. Can it do anything when it's summoned?
It can attack.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
I need a dexterity saving throw from you. I don't know where that's going to be. It's
No
just
worries.
an attack or...
I'll make a dex save. It's -3. It rolled a 0.
Alright, so it's going to take 2d8 fire damage. And it's a flamethrower.
Okay. So this flame produces from the front of the creature, burning away at this viscous gold-colored pudding.
Now on my turn, I'm going to double check and see if that can spider...
No worries. Gunthroll, it's your turn.
Gonna move to here.
Okay. You see the pudding, which is now menacing and moving towards this little mechanical drone that Zito placed on the bridge.
I'll cast Spirit Guardian here.
Okay. It fails. And takes 20 radiant damage as your spectral snakes begin slashing into it. And you just hear the sound of the wet smacking as the spectral guardians are rushing through and entering and then exiting the body of this amorphous blob.
That's my turn.
Okay. Alrid, is your turn. Just watch Zito touch down and skid to a halt in front of you, casting out one of his little turret drones onto the bridge.
Okay, am I able to see that pudding yet, or no?
I would say with your flame, you can start to see something as coming into the outer reaches of your produced flame.
Okay, I'm gonna step up here, right next to...
And you can see a ball. You can also see a ball of glowing spectral flying snakes, which are whipping around Gunthroll. So there's a little bit of light, not much, coming off of him.
Okay, and from here, I'm gonna throw my flame at it.
Go for it. And also, for all intents and purposes, anything beyond where you're standing to the north, you would need to make that dex save. So you're just outside of the edge of that howling wind.
Okay, so any further and I'm...
Any further, you'd have to make a dex save, correct.
in trouble. Got it.
Okay. You hurl your flame. It's licking in the air. The howling wind is seeming to nearly blow it out as it does, but it impacts the blob-like creature.
Jeremy the turret does not have spider climb.
Okay, it's gone. So we'll say that it was able to make one gout of flame, and it is suddenly whipped off and dashed against a wall and then plummets, seemingly forever.
Okay, and that'll end my turn.
Okay. The it's going to move as fast as it can now, sensing danger, if you will. It'll pass through that, so it'll need to take that save, Gunthro. And it fails. And once again, your spectral snakes are whipping through and ripping into this blob as it's moving towards your friends off of the bridge. And you just watch as this thing sort of slides off the side of the bridge and is walking across, spider climbing across this bridge. Coins are sticking to it and melting, or sort of being sucked into the surface of this golden blob as it gets closer to you all. And Lafana, it's your turn.
Okay, so do I at this point see and hear?
You can see, however, you have a bunch of friends standing in your way, so anything you tried to attack from range would have a 3/4 cover.
Okay. I will look at the gold pudding number 3.
Okay.
And I will use my bonus action to cast Hunter.
Go for it.
And then I will make my attacks. And my first shot, I want to take a -5 to attack. If I get it, I get plus 10 damage.
Okay.
So my sharpshooter.
I'm not sure if you notice, you can click the -5 in the lower left-hand corner before you roll your attack if you like.
Okay, and I do ignore 3/4 cover because I am a sharpshooter. So.
Oh, well, in that case, no worries. You don't have to do that at all. Don't have to take the -5. Look at you.
Well, I ignore 3/4 cover, but I'm taking -5 to get plus 10, so let's see how.
Okay.
Oh, wow, I still hit.
You still hit it. And your arrow plops into the body of this amorphous blob. It seems to be still coming, though.
So plus 10 on top of that.
Plus 10 damage?
Yes.
Alright, then I will apply 10 more damage to gold pudding number 3. There we go. Adjusted for you.
And that'll make my second attack.
Go for it. That is also a hit. As you knock an arrow, your arrow once again plopping into the surface of this creature. Bits of it are falling off in chunks from where your arrows are impacting. But your arrows seem to be being pulled into the amorphous surface of this creature.
I just look at Eli and say, there's something over there. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. On Eli's turn, would you like to continue to look at the urn with greed in your eyes?
Yes. I want to see if I can figure out, anything more information, if I can recall anything, compared the two together.
Okay. So Eli is going to continue to stare at the urn. And that's your whole turn. The other pudding now will take a save from you, Gunthral, as it passes through your spectral snakes. It also fails, and bits of it are being ripped up as the spectral snakes pass through it. And Ender, it's your turn. You can now see that these amorphous blobs, you're not sure where they end and begin. They've all sort of merged in the same place, seemingly becoming a larger version of them. And they all seem to be coming straight towards you. And Auri. And the rest of your companions.
Also, Jeremy, if they're at half speed when they go through that cone, that area.
No worries.
Okay. I think I'm going to... Well, I'll shoot him with my crossbow again.
Let me move this one back then. Say it's right there. That is a hit. Another one of your bolts impacts and sort of, you can hear it now, even over the cacophonous sound of the wind blasting in this chamber, you can see and hear the bolt being melted. That is also a hit. Knocking another bolt, impacting the blob. The bolt starts slowly being sucked into its form.
Alright, well, if they're coming next turn, I'm going to just drop that crossbow to my side and start pulling from my sword.
Okay. Zito, it is your turn.
Alright, from between Ender's legs, Zito's gonna cast Shatter on that bridge.
Okay.
Good idea.
Placing it right in between those two oozes.
Gotcha. How's that work exactly? How much damage does it do?
So it's 3d8 thunder damage on a failed saving throw. Anything that's organic automatically fails.
Sure. The bridge automatically fails. So you'll be doing damage on the puddings and the bridge. Okay. And you could just roll the damage again on nothing, and we'll say that's how much damage was inflicted on the bridge. Okay, so there's this sound of thunder, and stone bits now blast out from the bridge, and you hear this thundering, cracking noise as a large chunk of the bridge now falls out from underneath one of the gold puddings, and it's sort of clinging to the very edge. It hasn't bisected the bridge, but it has taken a large chunk out of it.
Alright, I'll have my turn there.
Okay, Koritari, it's your turn. I believe you were holding your action last turn, so you no longer have your held action. What would you like to do?
I would like to... Can I see the pudding, like, holding on to the edge?
Unfortunately, you can't really see much of all because there's not really a light source for you. You don't have dark vision.
I am useless.
So right now you can just barely make out a blob amorphous form which is coming. If you'd like to attack it, you can. We'll say that you make a perception check with disadvantage, and we'll see if you can actually see it before you can attack it.
Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and do that, and I'll use my blowgun and try to blow a dart at it.
All right. Okay. You pull out your blowgun, firing out towards the creature. Your companions around you hear the sound of the as your dart goes forth, and the wind just sort of whips the dart away in the air, impacting nothing. Would you like to do anything else? I believe you have 2 attacks.
I'll blow another dart at it.
And this time it impacts, blasting the gold pudding with 5 damage. The needle impacts into the creature. Would you like to do anything else? You're currently just sort of standing. You kind of pulled yourself up over your friend Auri to see out and fire your blowgun at the amorphous creature.
I'll stay where I am.
Okay. The other pudding now is going to continue to take damage from you your spectral snakes. Their Gunthroll uses its full movement and action to get across the bridge to the point where the rest of the blobs are. And it fails. And Lithana, it's your turn.
Alright, I take a gander at what's going on, and I will try to shoot it again with taking another impossible shot at this gold pudding.
Go for it.
So I will also, again, -5 to attack, hopefully plus.
That is a hit. Yeah, these things aren't that difficult to hit, actually. Got real low AC. And you watch as the creature just sort of falls apart and slides off of the bridge, falling into the abyss.
Alright, well, I will take my last shot at friend. Goodbye.
Okay. That is a hit. After watching...
I would end my turn.
Okay. The pudding will take more damage from you, Gunthroll. Your spectral snakes whipping through its body. And it moves straight towards Auri and Ender. And you watch as this gold blob now comes into view with you and your companion, and now appears to be reaching towards, attempting to whap at you with its pseudopod. But it misses as the pseudopod sort of slaps the ground in front of you, like it was moving towards you at speed, but it just managed to sidestep before it impacted. And Eli, it's your turn. Are you continuing to stare at the urn?
Have I been able to recall anything?
You're pretty sure that you can just pull the top off of it. After you've been studying it for a while, you're pretty sure if you could just break the seal, the gold seal, you can just break it, take it off of there.
And then that's how it will activate the thing.
You're pretty sure.
All right, I'll shove it both in my bag. I'll look up. Oh, you guys need any help?
Your friends are in danger.
I'll do a firebolt at it.
Okay, that's a hit. Your firebolt impacts the creature, and as it does, it sort of splorts and splits in half, and the two halves slide off of the bridge into the abyss.
You're welcome, and I'll go back to thinking about my urn.
Okay then. Auri, it's your turn. Your eyes are going wide as you were watching this blob coming straight towards you. Two of them now have fallen into the abyss, seemingly dying. A third one is now looking like it's getting ready to come towards you and your friends.
Okay, I'm gonna stay exactly where I am, and I'm gonna produce the flame again so that Cortari can see for her next turn.
Okay. Ender, it's your turn. With the flame from Auri's produced flame,
I'm shooting it some more.
you can now fully see this gold pudding as it's coming straight towards you. That's it. More of your bolts are impacting the surface of this amorphous blob. It sort of looks like a pin cushion at this point, with all the bolts that are sticking out of it. And bits of it are sloughing off into the abyss from the attacks from the spectral snakes.
End turn.
Okay, and Gunthroll, it's your turn. Would you like to continue to concentrate with your snakes?
I'm gonna move it a little further south.
Okay.
I will.
I believe you can still take an action as long as it's not a concentration spell. If I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct. I'll cast Toll of the Dead.
Okay. That's a natural 20. It actually succeeded. One of these monsters actually rolled a natural 20.
And I'll pass my turn.
Does it take half damage on a success? I don't remember if it does or not. Does that look like just regular roll damage?
Yeah, I know. I saw that too. So I started to read. Nope, it takes no damage, so give it the hit points back.
Okay.
I should not have rolled.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Zito, it's your turn.
Alright, Zito is gonna cast a firebolt at the remaining pudding.
Okay. That is actually a hit. You rolled a 2 and you still hit it.
Oh my gosh.
And
max damage.
the bolt of firebolt twists and turns, seeming to defy the howling winds, and the pudding explodes, showering down into the abyss, and you are all out of combat.
For now.
Zito's gonna let us sigh.
Okay.
There's too many oozes here.
This place seems to be just an ooze central. And you all received 471 experience for that encounter. You can now see that there are just oodles and oodles of, well, for those of you who have dark vision, you can see oodles and oodles of treasure still left behind on the apex of that. And Guthrie, as you come back, you don't notice any sort of resistance. So you seem to have gotten rid of all of those creatures. Zito, you want to attempt to walk across the bridge?
Yeah, so Zito will carefully try and cross the bridge.
Okay, make a dexterity save. Okay. You're able to cross the bridge, no problem. You can make your full movement if you like. Gunthrills just sort of whips around, counterclockwise style, seeming to impact nothing with his spectral snakes.
I'll keep it up for the next 9.5 minutes.
Okay. If you would like, I will just go ahead and give you guys, let's see. I'm going to roll on my treasure hoard table to see how much gold you guys say. We'll just pass time and say that you're able to gather all of the wealth that you can carry from this place.
Yeah, we're not leaving anything behind there, Jeremy. Not even a copper piece.
Alright. Well, you got a lot. So let me go ahead and start dropping these into the inventory. Let's see. So you got overall, beyond the wealth that you were able to obtain from Gunthrill's use of Gust of Wind, you find 400 copper pieces, 9,000 silver pieces, 2,800 gold pieces, and 90 platinum pieces.
Nice.
Which I'll all add to the party inventory.
Very nice. That'll go for the GoFundMe wizard.
GoFundMe wizard.
Is that
Yep.
Is that including all this stuff in the chest?
Sorry, what?
Is that including all the stuff in the chest?
That's everything as in the chest, yes.
Okay. But before Zito leaves, he's gonna pull a gemstone out of his backpack that he uncovered back in the treasure room. He's gonna throw it over into the void. And he's gonna throw that listening gemstone out to where no one else can use it.
Okay. It is gone. And you also found a potion bottle, some sort of strange bag, another potion bottle, actually several, 3 that look very similar to one another, a bronze crown of some sort, some type of brass mug with jade inlay, and a golden birdcage with electrum filigree.
Alright,
And
so
those
you're
are
going to cast Detect Magic on those.
Okay. You get magic from the 3 potion bottles. And you also detect magic coming off of the strange-looking bag. It's like a heavy sackcloth bag.
Alright, Zero will then cast Identify on the bag, and I don't think I'll have time for the potion bottle, so put those in his bag.
Okay. And I think at this point, if you guys want to take a quick break, you can. And while you're doing so, I will, for those of you who want to take a break, I will identify these items for you, Zito.
Cool.
Zito, are you stepping off, or do you want me to tell you what you find?
You can tell me.
Okay. You find 3 potions of fire giant strength and a bag of beans.
A bag of beans?
Yep, looks like this.
Oh, cool.
And with the bag of beans, there are 3 D4 dry beans in it. A bag weighs half a pound, plus a quarter of a pound for each bean it contains. If you dump the bag's contents on the ground, they explode in a 10-foot radius, extending from the beans. Each creature in the area, including you, must make a dexterity save or take 5 D4 fire damage on a failed save. You can also remove a single bean from the bag, plant it in dirt or sand, and then water it, and it produces an effect a minute later.
So they're exploding beans.
Exploding beans that also do other magical things.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna call it. Ani's gonna keep playing, but I'm like passing out in my chair.
No worries.
I'll get the update from Ani when she comes to bed.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't make it all night.
Hey, it's okay.
That's alright, Adam. Feel better.
Oh, tomorrow is gonna be a better day. I know it is. I'm feeling really, really tired right now, and it's kind of a good thing. I want to go to bed early tonight, so I'm just gonna grab the tiredness while I have it, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Good night, guys.
Alright.
Alright, well, I think Zito will keep the bag of beans for himself, but he'll give the potions to anyone else who would want them.
Okay. Well, they're in the inventory, identified now, so you guys can grab what you'd like from the party sheet. Also, I should mention that you guys are carrying a lot of wealth right now, and yeah, for every 50 coins weighs a pound. So you might want to, if you're not using magical means to store your wealth, you guys are pretty laden down right now with metal.
I got like 3 pounds until my carry weight capacity is passed over.
Right, but I don't think that Fantasy Grounds takes into effect that weight for wealth. You do have
I'm good.
You do have members of
got
the group who have the ability to carry magical means, carry heavy things. So if you guys wanted to just say that one of you with a magical sack of some sort can store all this wealth.
I'm probably the best one. I have a bag of holding and 2 pockets of holding.
Did we decide you were the treasurer anyways? I'm trying to remember.
We just decided to make another party member of the, and keep that.
Oh, right.
But I guess
So
no one
that
has
other
that.
party member takes off with it.
No, it was just a blank sheet that's just called the treasurer.
Yeah.
I think it was like an interstellar hamster, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. I'll if you guys want me to divide all that up, I'll throw it in the party.
Yeah.
That way, and I'll
Is
just
the
divide
interstellar
all of it.
hamster still? I don't see the sheet.
It'll be on the party sheet.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, man, I don't see that sheet.
All right.
Is there a way to look at how much he has?
He is carrying. I don't think you guys designated any gold to it yet.
Okay, so this would be good the first time.
This would be the first time, yes. So I'll go ahead and do that. Boom.
Yeah, divvy it all up with the. So now now we have a party treasure too.
Correct.
Which the party treasure will cover all the fees that
Sure.
food and travel and stuff. So that one person feels obligated, we actually all pitch in.
Should I give the treasurer 2 inspirations as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Our treasurer is inspired.
Treasurer is inspired. All right, guys. You have successfully gone through these strange gold-colored puddings, which are based on black puddings, and you're able to loot all of the remainder of the wealth that was within this chamber, within the treasure chest.
Wow, 1,500 gold.
It was a lot of silver, a lot of copper.
I know. Got to go to the bank.
Yeah. I think the other group had a similar thing. Like, well, let's go to the tavern and see if they can exchange all of our coin. It's like going to a 7-Eleven with a bag of pennies. Hey, can you give me a roll of quarters? What would you guys like to do now? If we're all back.
I'd like to find our way out.
Do we have everything we need to get out of here?
Yeah, we've had everything that we needed, and we just decided to do what the lady said.
Well, the lady told you that the only way to use that shard to get out of here was to either one of each of you put your essence, your blood, into the shard, or use the one she gave you, which is why you guys went to go find the components from the elemental djinn, and take Lathana's blood, which the woman said was far more potent than the rest of you, and perform a ritual to make this shard that she was gifting to you, because you didn't tell her about your shard, in order to use the portal and get out of there. So, at this point, it's up to you guys what you would like to do, how you wish to proceed.
Is everyone back too? Taters?
Potato.
Potato.
Yes, potato.
Potato.
Lathana looks at the group and says, well, we probably should get back as soon as we can. What do you...
We should go.
I think we've gotten enough gold. Is that enough for you, Eli?
Ah, yes. I'm very satisfied. I
Wow.
thought I always could use more.
Happy wizard, happy life, right?
There's a kobold or there's a copper underneath your boot, Eli.
I look under my boot.
There are no coppers.
Ah, good one. You can't leave anything behind, right? You know, they just left it out on the ground. You know, we could use it for for better use.
Lithana will lead the way back to the main chamber through the labyrinth.
All right. If you want, I'll just go ahead and move everyone back to the chamber. The path of least resistance. Either one of the northern chambers. I'll just go ahead and say that you guys are... We'll say you're at this one. You all sort of gather it. If that is agreeable to all of you, walking through the twisting tunnels towards the main chamber of this place.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. It takes a bit of time, but you all make it back after taking the long way around to go and bypassing the chamber before to get to this antechamber full of the greed piles. You make your way back to the large lava flow chamber, and you see now that as who's leading the party? Who's out front?
Lithana was, I guess.
Okay, so Lithana, as you being in front of the rest of your friends, the first thing that you see as you step into this chamber, you see that the lava children are no longer playing. In fact, you don't see any of them anywhere. You still see the hut, and you can see the withered old crone at the center of the chamber near the hut. You also see some newcomers at the middle of the chamber. You see what appears to be some sort of hulking turtle man with a very large hammer of some sort. And he has a couple of gnarly looking, very tall humanoid creatures with white skin and large wings, and they're holding swords as tall as they are, and are sort of resting them in front of them. And you can also see some gangrenous-looking creatures with long tongues, ghoulish creatures that are sort of crawling on all fours, sort of restlessly moving around, but not moving too far away from the rest. And you see that this individual, this strange turtle person, nods towards the woman now, and he turns away from her, and he begins moving away. And he turns and regards the group from where he's standing. And I will share first what this person looks like.
Fireball.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what was that?
Fireball. You just showed me the picture. Yeah, that dude looks evil.
You also see this. And you have you're not out front, Eli. Even though I adjusted you guys, this is Lithana seeing it.
Okay.
I'm just sharing it so that everyone can see it. This is what you see, Lithana. And you have a moment to see as this turtle man seems to look in your direction and nod ahead and holds his hammer up, and a tear in reality forms in front of him, and they all single file pass through it. And there's this strange warbling sound as they step through, and the gangrenous creatures on all fours walk behind them. And then the tear seems to fizzle out and is gone.
Guys, did you see that?
I'm looking behind us.
There was this, turtle thing in this, I don't know, winged cougar type thing. But then they just disappeared. It's a bit menacing, but... Well, I guess onward and upward.
Okay. So what would you all like to do? You see now the old crone sees you all, and she calls out to you from across the flow to where you're standing at the entrance of this tunnel cast off from the main chamber, and says, "I was beginning to wonder if you were coming back."
Of course we would be back, grandmother. And she would try to make her way.
Okay.
I guess she communicates with the group. Do we need to fly or something?
Are you all going towards the center of the chamber, towards her?
Sure, if everyone else agrees.
I must stay a little bit towards the back.
Yes.
Well, whoever would like to be there, you can indicate with your token on the map, and I'll move you over towards the center, towards where she is. What about you, Cortari?
I will follow with Lathana.
Okay.
Koratari, you were very brave last time, going right up. I commend you for.
I will say Ender stays sort of step in step with you, Ari.
Thank you, Lathana. And it looks like you may have found a long-lost relative.
I guess so.
And the woman now, the old woman now regards you, Lathana, and sort of scans the rest of you and asks, "Well, do you have it?"
Yeah, I believe we do. Eli?
Yes.
Do we have the spinal cord thingy?
Yes. Is there other options, Then we have more choices than to kill one of these thingies?
I think she said we could all give our blood or something. Is that right?
That's if you had your own shard. She said that if you had arrived here with your own shard, that you can all give your blood, and you wouldn't need the fluid and brain of a djinn. But you told her that you didn't have one, which is why she gave you hers.
Lathana just looks over to Eli and back to Baba Plaga, like,
Didn't we come here with one? And he looks over at Zito.
And Zito looks back. What
I
the
don't know
fuck,
what you're
bro?
talking about. Aren't you too distracted with your urn to say anything, Eli?
No. Do you really want to fight a creature in here? To be, pretty dangerous. I don't know how powerful they are. I've read many stories.
Plaga looks to you, Eli, and says, "Well, that won't be necessary. You won't have to fight it."
Oh, you don't have to fight it? What do you mean?
Well, the ritual allows me to immobilize the creature first, obviously. I'm not going to deal with one of these personally. It's certainly not going to hand over its own brain and spinal fluid.
Of course. Yes, so there's a bit of a problem. So I got two of them. I'm trying to figure out which one should I hand over.
Why did you take two of them?
Because he's an idiot.
No matter. All I need is the one. And she gestures towards you with her gnarly, bony hand. You can see now the strange, from where the robe pulls back to her elbow as she gestures towards Eli. You can see those gnarled, black tattoos that radiate out towards her hand, down her arm, almost seemingly to cover her arm completely. And she gestures for you to bring it forth.
I'm gonna pull them both out again.
Okay.
Is there any indication of which one would I want to? Which one do I feel more compelled to hand over?
Well, I'll tell you what. Make an intelligence check.
All right.
Okay. You have no idea. Even with your knowledge of these types of creatures, the containers, the vessels that are used, it's a 50-50 chance that you're not sure which one you want to give to her. You have the pearlescent sky blue colored urn with those little concentric circle patterns that repeat, and then you have the more like a seafoam green colored urn with the wavy shapes.
I looked at Gunny. Gunny, I have a question for you. Can you detect evil?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, looks like we're sleeping here.
Oh, really? Well, you you guys have already rested, so it's going to be a while before you can take another full rest.
But don't worry, I can protect myself from them.
Oh,
Come on.
you can.
Come on, Eli, pop the cork. You can do it.
All right, I'll pop the cork.
I believe
I'll
in you.
pop one of them.
Okay, so
I'll pop the sky blue one.
You're going to pop the sky blue one?
Yep.
Okay.
Go for it.
Make a strength check. Unless you would like someone who's a bit stronger in your group to do it. Okay.
Can I take extra time and have advantage on it?
No. I'm sorry.
Can I just keep trying to open it? I mean, I'm not strong. I'm not strong, so I'll spend extra time.
Your hands are a bit sweaty because it's hot in here.
Let me help you with that.
No.
Maybe you should ask Gunny to loosen it up for you.
I'm good. I'm gonna cast.
Baba now says, "I got tired of waiting. Present one of the urns. I don't care which one."
I'm gonna keep trying to open it.
Give him her damn urn.
Just give her the urn, Eli.
Which one would you like to give?
I'm gonna try to open it again. I'll sit here all day and try to open it.
I'm gonna touch him and cast guidance on him.
Sure, go ahead. Plaga is now reaching for one of the urns.
No, the ones in my bed. I guess.
You pull two of them out. Remember?
All right, I'll put one back in.
You're trying to open one. You can't do that and also pull. She is now reaching for the seafoam.
No.
She's reaching for the seafoam colored urn, and she takes it from you. If you let her.
All right, I'll let her take it.
Okay. She pulls it from you and sort of gives you a look, like a knowing look, and nods at you. Thank you. And she shuffles back over to Lithana and she says, "Now, in order for this to work, the ritual, well, unfortunately, I will have to render you unconscious." Lithana.
I guess as long as I can.
You would not want to be awake while you are being bled.
She kind of just shrugs her shoulders. I guess not. Do what you.
Okay. She takes the urn and places it on the ground next to a stone workbench, and then she gestures for you, Lithana, to lay on the workbench.
I was laid down slowly.
Okay. And she looks into your eyes, Lithana, and she says,
This ritual will force you to relive the worst moments from your life. Brace yourself, daughter of Aisha. And
Wait, I didn't know that was part of it.
Speaks a few words, and you fall unconscious. And the moment that you fall unconscious, she places the pyramidal puzzle box into your open hands, which are across your chest. And she then turns and looks to the rest of you and says, "You'll need to protect her during the ritual. They will be drawn to the blood."
Who would be?
And she points up. And as she does, you all look up. You can see now that there's some sort of a mist that seems to be descending from above, coming into view. Almost like a cloud cover which is descending upon the whole entire chamber.
Hold on, just... If we could wait 10 minutes, please. Hold on, I have a ritual. I must perform. Everyone included.
I would like everyone
Zita's gonna hold
to
Eli
roll
back.
for initiative.
Did she already start the ritual?
Yes, she did.
She didn't tell us until...
She grew impatient with you. Everyone but Lithana will be rolling initiative. I'll roll for Cortari. And I'll roll for Ender too. There we go. And the mist is starting to descend. It's getting closer to the ground now. Looks like it's going to be settling on all of you relatively shortly. This mist seems to be pushing itself downwards from the seemingly endless lava tube. Cortari, what are you doing?
I will... Oh, shit. I'm gonna hold my action, but watch as the mist approaches and, but stay where
Okay. What about you, Eli?
Is the mist moving slowly?
It's moving fast. It almost seems like a squall coming off of the ocean, like a fog.
I move right here.
Okay. And it seems to be coming straight towards Lithana. Some of it seems to be focusing and moving like it's moving with a purpose. Bits of the mist seem to coalesce and move and shift in places.
I will hold my action right in here, but I'm going to hold slow.
Okay. And what about you, Zito?
Zito's gonna move 10 feet in that direction, and he is going to cast Firebolt up at that mist.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack. Your firebolt arcs up into the mist, going through the mist and seemingly disappearing. And where your firebolt disappeared into the mist, the mist begins to start to reform and push out, getting closer to you all. And what about you, Gunthral?
I'll move closer to Lithana.
Okay. And
I shall cast Toll of the Dead at the mist.
okay, you pick a point at the mist that's descending from above you all. It's getting closer. And again, you see
similar to the firebolt blasting into the mist, an area of this voluminous mist sort of blasts out from your spell, and you can see now that the mist begins to reform, seemingly having no effect at the moment.
I'll pass.
Okay, Auri, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move closer.
Okay.
And that's it. My turn.
Okay. And what would Ender do on his turn, Auri? We'll let you control Ender.
Oh boy, I don't know how to play his character.
Ah, that's okay. I can run his character for you. You just let me know what he would do. Would he draw his weapon? Would he move with you? Would he, turtle up? No pun intended.
He would probably move in closer and have his weapon drawn.
Okay. Alright, we'll say that he moved with the rest of you and is standing at your side. And Gortari, you lose your held action unless you'd like to do something. But it'll be your turn again.
I'm gonna move closer to Lithana as well.
Okay. I will move you. Do you want to be directly next to her?
I'll be like maybe 10 feet away, just kind of keeping watch.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll move you next to Eli and Gunthral. Y'all are kind of like sort of half semicircle around her right now. And that's the end of your turn? You want to hold your action?
No, that's it.
Okay. As you're all watching this mist, most of the mist seems to stop, like a cloud in the chamber. And you are all now seeing sections of it that seem to separate and hover and coming straight at you all. One of them rushes towards you all. And
Can my thing go off?
Sure.
My held action.
Go for it. Well, you lost your held action because it's a new round. So you would have lost that since you didn't cast it.
I would have cast at the end of the round.
Okay, but what would you be casting it at? Because nothing was moving towards you. It's an effect on something, or is it an effect on an area?
It's effect on 6 creatures.
Yes.
Up to 6 creatures.
Yeah, you would have had to have seen it. So I'll say on your turn, your next turn, you can cast it.
Okay.
I won't take the spell slot away from you since you were focusing on it, since that was your intention. Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw there, Eli. As this mist begins to rush towards you, I will share what you see. Eli, you take 10 necrotic damage, and your health is reduced by 10. And this is what you see happen to Eli. This mist goes straight towards him, and blood begins oozing out of Eli's pores, and it seems like to be sucked up into the cloud.
Oh gosh.
So we'll say that your max hit points... Oh, did you already do it manually?
Yeah, I did it manually.
Okay, I'm just going to make a note here. Hit
okay,
points, 32.
32.
There we go.
Yeah. There's no attack. I mean, they automatically hits?
It's if you... basically, it's like you make the save, and then you take the damage based on...
Okay, so there's no, like...
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not an attack. It's like a spell-like effect almost.
So I can't even cast shield.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. This thing is literally sucking blood out of you, like it's sticking invisible straws into you and sucking the blood out of your body. And it will continue to do so. Another one floats down and is now going towards you and Ender, Auri. And it seems to settle next to you and Ender. I need you to make a Constitution save. Okay.
Pigeon, you guys have inspiration.
Yeah, you guys want to use your inspiration?
Oh yeah, sure. That sounds like a good idea.
Metagaming Pigeon.
Okay.
Didn't know.
You know what? It's one more than what it was, so, you know.
True.
Alright, you take 10 damage as well as blood is being sucked out of your pores into this mist. Like a Sierra mist. And your health is reduced by 10, your maximum health. So you're down to 29 as your max. And I will notate that 39 is your maximum hit points. Just to remind you. And Gunthorl, it is your turn. You just watch as these clouds suddenly begin separating from the overall mist hanging above and is coming straight towards your friends. And you can see now blood droplets are being sucked out of their pores and going into these mists.
Now, as my last 3rd level spell, I will cast my favorite, which is Spirit.
Spirit Guardians, woohoo! And they both fail. And you can watch now as the mists are now being, in places are being bamfed away. Parts of it, there seem to be sort of falling apart, trying to reform. The blood that was being sucked up into them were sort of being held in little rivulets within the cloud and are splattering across their victims they were pulling the blood out of.
And I pass my turn.
Okay. Zito, or no, I'm sorry. I apologize, Eli, it's not your turn. Another one of those mists comes gunning towards Cortari, and it will take damage from Gunthorl's spectral sticks. Cannot attack on this turn, thankfully. Oh, actually, no, I am so sorry. It has a fly speed of 30. I will roll a Constitution save for Cortari.
You got this.
Would you like to use your inspiration, Cortari? You rolled a 9.
Yes, please.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
Yay!
Okay. Let's see. So... yeah, you take no damage. It attempted to pull blood out of you and it failed. Now it's your turn, Eli. Would you like to cast slow? You are feeling a little weak. A little weaker than usual. As your very life essence is being pulled out of you.
I want to cast Magic Missile.
Okay. This is one after another. Your magic missiles arc out.
And end my turn.
Okay. Zito, it's your turn. These clouds, these amorphous clouds are descending from above and coming straight towards your friends.
Alright. Seeing that we're quickly surrounding, Zito is gonna go into his bag one more time, and he's gonna pull out a smaller turret.
Okay.
By expending my spell slot, I can use my Eldritch Cannon again. and I'm going to use the Protector ability.
Alrighty. I'll throw your turret on the board. Boom.
Like to wedge it in between there. And
Sure.
everyone that I choose within 10 feet can gain D8 plus 4 until temporary hit points.
Oh.
Whoops.
Yes.
So you gain.
Humans.
Everyone gains 5 temporary hit points.
Sorry about that.
Can we keep it like that? Can I just say that I just pulled an absurdly large turret out of my bag?
Giant mechanical spider.
It just crushes everything.
Including
us.
in the party.
What a way to, it's just 5.
What a way to go. Okay, so you said that they get 5 back?
They get 5 temporary hit points.
5
They don't
temporary
heal,
hit
they just
points.
get temporary hit.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And that's the end of your turn?
I will cast. That was my bonus action.
Ah, okay.
I'm going
You
to
got your
cast
main action.
Firebolt.
Go for
Yep.
it.
I'm going to cast Firebolt at one of the vampiric mist.
Go for it. That's a hit. Your firebolt impacts the vampiric mist, and it starts to try and reform. The other mist, another one descends from above and comes straight towards you, Zito, but it can't do anything to you yet. And yet another one separates from the fog above and comes straight towards Gunthral. Gunthral, could you make a Constitution save for me? Okay, you succeed. You take no damage from this creature, as it tries to suck the blood out of you like a disgusting undead Capri Sun. Or I should say you're the Capri Sun and it's trying to suck it out of you.
Well, he's got to open me up first.
It's true. It's got to find the hole. You know how hard it is to open a Capri Sun? And Auri, it's your turn. You are currently being drank by a cloud.
Okay, I'm gonna cast a Moonbeam on the one in front of me.
Okay. Would you like to use the handy dandy Moonbeam token?
Yeah, I tried to find it, but I could not find it.
That's okay. I can throw it on the board for you. There's a lot of tokens in there. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. You said it was Moonbeam?
Moonbeam, yeah.
Moonbeam. Ah, here it is. Boom. Moonbeam. How big is that moonbeam? Is it just 5 feet or is it wider
It's
than
5
that?
feet.
5 feet, okay. You can go ahead and cast that and make the attack on the creature. See the little moon face?
Yeah. Oh,
It actually succeeds.
okay, cool.
Does it take any half damage from that or no?
Yeah, it takes half of it if it fails.
Okay.
Or if it succeeds. If it succeeds, it takes half.
Okay. It should, if I'm not mistaken, if you roll the attack damage, since you already rolled the save, it should automatically calculate that for you. And it takes 1 damage. As the searing moonlight that seems to come from a column straight above all of you blasts down, slamming into the mist.
And when he's at the start of his turn, he has to make a Constitution saving throw again.
Okay.
Right, and that's my turn.
Alrighty. Another mist emerges from the cloud above and rushes towards Ender. And I'll roll a con save for Ender. Whoops. Ender failed his con save. Do you think we need to use one of those inspirations for him?
Yes.
Okay. Always ask. Okay. He saved, so he will not take damage from the creature. And it is Ender's turn. What would Ender do, Auri? Would he swing away with his weapon?
I think he would, yeah. I think he'd try to attack it.
Okay. First, he will use his first attack to attack the one that has been menacing you, slashing forth with his longsword. You watch as he impacts the mist, and it just sort of evaporates from his attack. He then spins around, and with his second attack, slashes at the one that just attempted to attack him, hitting it, and doing 12 slashing damage to it. And Lithana is still unconscious. Okay. You can roll damage on the mist turn there, Gunthral.
Alright, on 2, 6, 1.
Yeah, since 2, 6, 1, and 3 are about to act, you can go ahead and roll all of them at once if you like. And all of them except for 1. There we go. And make another Constitution save, Gunthral. Okay.
I'll re-roll.
Reroll, go for it. You actually succeeded. You take no damage.
Awesome.
Okay. The other mist now. Zito, make a con save for me. It's now just clouds that are around your semicircle protecting your companion. Would you like to take a reroll on that?
No, I won't.
Okay. You take... the attack is partially absorbed. You take 8 damage from it, and your health is currently reduced by 8, your maximum health. We'll notate what your max is normally for you. So I believe that reduces you to 38. There you go. Did that for you. And Cortari, I will roll another Constitution save for you, as one of these mists is attempting to eat you. But you rolled a 16. You're good to go.
Woohoo!
The other mist, which is currently dead, so it doesn't get an attack. And Zito, it's your turn.
Alright, Zeta is going to try and do Shocking Grasp on the one that's right in front of it.
Okay. That is most definitely a hit. And it seems to do something to it, but it also seems to resist your attack somewhat. Lightning passes through the amorphous cloud, the rivulets of blood which are coming from you.
And Zeta is going to reposition it on his turn there.
Okay. Gunthral, it's your turn. Does your little heal bot do anything, Zito?
No, it just gives everyone the temporary hit points. That's all I can do.
Oh, okay. So he just kind of like curls up into a ball after he's done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, I'll get rid of him.
I mean, he still has to stay out, otherwise the temporary hit points will go away. But
Oh.
he just doesn't do anything.
Okay, well, I'll put him back.
Alright, I'm gonna... I'll cast Hand of Radiance.
Okay.
All creatures within... Each creature of my choice that I see within 5 feet of me must succeed on a con save or take d6 radiant damage.
Okay. Alright, looks like we got 1 failure and 2 successes.
I'm checking to see if it,
That's half damage?
yeah, I'm seeing if it's half or not.
Okay.
I think it's only the one.
Oh, okay. I think you could just drag it from the sheet directly onto it. Was that number 1, I think it is, that failed? The one right next to Cortari. Okay. The creature sort of... this cloud seems to, like, make a strange hissing noise. And it seems to be almost completely gone. Like, there's just a few wisps of it remaining.
No, in my turn.
Okay. Cortari, what would you like to do on your turn? Would you like to punch a cloud?
I do. I want to punch a cloud.
Okay.
I'm going to. I think I can attack twice unarmed, and then I'll use a key point to do 2 more attacks.
Well, yes, you have your longsword, which you are Kensei monk, so you can use your longsword to attack it twice. Plus, you can use your unarmed if you like twice.
I am going to. Sorry, I am going to attack twice with my longsword, and I'm going to use a key point to then do 2 more unarmed attacks.
Okay. Your first attack missed, unfortunately. Would you like to spend your inspiration to attack it, to hit? Your second did impact, though.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'll roll it again. And that's your last inspiration. You connected twice. I'll tell you what, since I'm a forgiving and giving DM, I'll give you your inspiration back because your first attack would have hit it.
Thank you.
So it is gone. You still have your second attack. So if you want to guide that towards something else, you can.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the same mist with my longsword.
Oh, it's dead. Do you want to hit the one that's closest to Gunthrow? It's like right in front of you.
Sorry. Yes. I'll do the one closest.
Okay. I'm just realizing that, yes, I need to take your inspiration away because you did fail on your attack. So you still have your second attack, though. So we'll go ahead and I'll say that you impacted the other one. So I'll drop the damage from that second attack that you rolled onto it. It takes 6 damage from you. And did you want to use your unarmed strike on it?
Yes.
Okay. First attack does hit. And you bamf it. It poofs and is gone. And I believe that's the end of your turn, unless you'd like to move. There appear to be only 2 of these mists left, and they're hurt pretty badly.
Well, since my key point, I should have 2 unarmed attacks. Can I still do the other one on another mist, or no?
I'm pretty sure you have to direct that. No, you know what? We'll say yes. I'm not 100% sure, but for this combat, I'll go ahead and say yes. You can use your attack.
I would like to attack the other mist that's closest to me.
Okay. You hit it. And now it's Ender's turn. I assume Ender would like to continue to wail away with his longsword?
He's gonna punch as many things as he possibly can.
Okay.
Sword.
Except with the sword. Well, he hits, impacts, and slashes the thing. There appears to be only one of these mists left. And it's your turn, Ari. Unless, actually, no, I take it back. He's got another attack. It goes towards the other one. Ender, in a diagonal slash with his longsword, slashes into the creature. Rolled a 3 and still hits it. Ender's amazing. And he kills it. And you guys are out of combat. Seemingly so.
Is the ritual almost done?
As you all turn and look, Plaga has pulled the stopper out of that urn, and a strange fish-like creature emerges from it. And the moment it stops, she yells something and extends her hand out, and the creature freezes. And she begins pulling out some sort of a hooked blade of some sort, and she turns to all of you and says, "You can avert your eyes if you're squeamish."
Zudo's gonna avert his eyes.
Eli's gonna pull out his book and start drawing this.
Okay.
He's just gonna stare at me.
I'll huddle over with Zudo not looking.
Plaga hovers up to the height of the creature, which is held within midair, and she begins carving the top of its skull off. It's gross, it's disgusting. It's this horrible, viscous blood splatters on the ground below. And she extracts its brain. She then takes it to a mortal and pestle and begins squishing it. And then heads over to Lithana and begins sort of with a sponge, sponging it onto the pyramidal-shaped puzzle box. And as she does so, there is a flash of green light. All of the runes on the puzzle blocks light up. And Lithana, would you please join me in the Eberron Needs Heroes voice channel?
Okay, will do. Hey.
Hey. So while your friends have been doing that, you've been experiencing something else.
Oh.
You see yourself in a town square. It's nighttime. The sky is hazy with smoke, blocking out the moonlight, most of it. Look to your left and to your right. You see that you are lined up in a row of archers wearing hooded cloaks and dark leather armor. The warriors have their bowstrings drawn and their weapons aimed at a crowd of haggard villagers that are bound to posts across the square away from you. You suddenly hear a harsh voice calling out from behind you, and your muscles tense. You hear the voice say, "Fire!" And without hesitation, the bowstrings are released in unison. Your arm twitches as you let loose your arrow into the crowd. You glance around at the other archers and now see the veiled young female faces of the individuals immediately to your left and to your right. And you now become aware of the similar veil covering your own face. An armored warrior strides forth, dragging an elven man by the back of his neck. "Where is the crown that was stolen from my master? I know that it is here." The elven man is silent, a solemn look on his face. Your stubborn defiance is duly noted. "Very well." The armored man turns and says, "Bring forth his wife and child. A duo of dark archers breaks away from the line and begin dragging a human woman and a short, blonde-haired girl, not much younger than yourself, towards the posts. The archers begin to bind the woman to one of the empty posts. The girl is then stood directly in front of her bound mother, facing the line of archers across the square. The armored warrior turns to the elven man and says, "You will watch this, and perhaps finally learn the price for defying our lord." The armored man snarls, gripping the elven man by his throat and pointing his head towards his family. "Archers of Aisha, fire!" The archers, including yourself, all yell in unison, "Yes, Lord Castellanter," knocking arrows and pointing them towards the bound woman and her child. There's a volley of arrows that are let loose towards the woman and child, and suddenly a brilliant flash of light as the arrows bounce harmlessly off of the child, impacting a strange energy barrier that hovers above the surface of her skin. The wife, however, is not so fortunate. Her body is impacted by several of the arrows. The elven man lets out a terrible wail and cries out, "Moria, no! Stop! It is gone! You have wasted your time here. This pointless slaughter has been for nothing." The mother gasps for air and whispers something to the child before going limp. The child's dress is now stained with her mother's blood. She suddenly bolts away from the body of her mother as it is attached to the post, dashing towards the woods away from the town square. The dark warrior regards the archers. "Well, are we all blind? Go and get her!" The warriors scatter into groups and begin sprinting after the fleeing child. And then your eyes snap open and you are awake. Lathana's eyes suddenly snap wide open, and she is holding the puzzle blocks in her hands, and she looks paler than usual. Her eyes go wide. A horrible realization across her face. And Baba Plaga steps forth to you, has now tossed the body of the elemental creature into the lava. It fizzles and sizzles and melts away. And looks to you and says, "I am sorry you had to experience that." And she opens up a little bag that she's got hanging on her side, and she says, "A token of appreciation." And roll a d4, Lathana. Okay. You pull out a little figurine, small enough to fit in a pocket, in the shape of a fly. You now have a figurine of wondrous power.
What is he?
She looks to you and she says, "This will be your companion. You can speak the command word and throw it to the ground within 60 feet of you, and it becomes a living creature."
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
It turns into a horsefly, and it can become a giant fly for up to 12 hours and can be ridden as a mount. And it will be friendly to you and regard your companions as friendly.
Wow. Thank you, Baba Plaga. And is there any way I can... I have so many questions. Is there any way I can keep in contact with you? Obviously,
And she looks to you and she says, "Well, of course. If you have the means of sending me a magical message, you can send me. You can also write me a letter, and I will respond in kind."
never mind. I'll send a message.
Okay.
I can send messages magically.
Okay, thank you, Eli. But are you all ready to go? And she looks very, her face is very ashen white, but she's still in Lithana.
I will award experience for that encounter with those vampiric mists. You each receive 525 experience points for that.
Zito's gonna cast Cure Wounds on himself and see if that will fix his ailment.
It does not. You can still cast a spell on yourself, but it doesn't appear to affect you. And
I wouldn't know that.
Plaga steps forth and she says, "Of any of you that were drunk, if you will, you'll probably want to sleep to regain your strength."
Wow, you all look terrible. What happened?
These mists started coming after you and the ritual began. We went to block them, but some of us got attacked a bit.
Oh, wow. Thank you for protecting me. I'm sure we have much to talk about, but... Oh, what was that?
Baba looks to you all and says, "I must warn you, the Calderas will now be aware of your presence and that you should probably flee or suffer her wrath."
Okay, let's go.
And you have all noticed that that mist seems to have, that sort of hovered above all of you, has dissipated.
Alright, I think it's time for us to make our way towards that portal.
Okay.
Alright.
And of course, looking at the map in the lower right-hand corner, you'll notice sort of a C-shaped platform hovering over lava. I would assume you would all like to fly towards it.
Yes, we would.
Okay.
I think we'd like to swim.
You want to swim through the lava?
Yeah, you go first, Zito. I'll watch you and see if it's safe.
I went over the bridge first. Why don't you take a swim, Eli?
That's true.
Did you all want to do anything else or talk to Baba anymore?
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's time to go.
Okay.
We've been here too long.
I'm gonna thank her.
And she
as
looks
we
at...
step out.
She says, "Of course! Come back again. Visit old Baba Plaga." And she looks to you, Lithana, with a sort of a solemn look on her face, as if she understands what you've just experienced.
I would be in touch.
So I assume I will go ahead and move you guys if you like, as a group.
Yes.
Make your way through the twisting tunnels. Fly across the lava flow towards the platform. And you can see now a pedestal, the center of this platform, stretched out over the lava flow. And it's just uncomfortably hot in this place. And in the distance you can hear the screeching of bats, and you can see flocks of bats, clouds of them, flying out this chamber that seems to go off forever. This river of lava that stretches out in all directions. And in the distance, you can just make out some sort of building, potentially. Which looks very familiar to you, Zito.
Where does he remember it from?
Make an intelligence check. We'll see if you remember exactly what it is.
Just intelligence or
Yeah,
investigation history?
Just make a straight intelligence check to see if you can remember. This appears to be very similar to the temple that you and your friends encountered below the city of Sharn.
Oh no, not one of these.
I would assume that you would all like to use the puzzle box now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's time to leave.
Okay. Lathana, you have the puzzle box. Did you want to go place it onto the pedestal?
Yes, I would go up to it and put it straight inside.
Okay. As you place the puzzle box onto the pedestal, there is a brilliant flash of green light. Your senses, all of you, go numb for a moment. And you're suddenly standing just outside of the room that you discovered Zito in on the airship.
Zito's gonna rub his eyes as that bright light was especially intense for his kobold eyes.
Well, we're back. I don't know how much time we wasted. I can't see the sun, right? We're inside the ship.
Yeah, you're currently standing in the hallway. I should mention that the door, which was open when you found Zito, is now closed. You're all just sort of standing within the hallway of this airship, this level of the airship.
Well, I guess we're trying to still find, Elric. Should we continue searching? Or should we rest?
Well, you seem pretty hurt, and I know that I am as well.
Yes. I'm not feeling very well. That's all.
Can he get off the airship? Or does he really have to rely on it? Is he still on it? I don't...
Well, perhaps we shouldn't waste any time and we should continue our search.
Which room would belong to Zito? Is the one to the north or the one to the south?
It's the one to the south of Ender.
Well,
The small room right here?
No. This one that I just revealed on the map.
I'm sorry?
The one that I just revealed.
Zito's gonna go into his room.
Okay. As you approach the room, you notice that there is a different kind of lock on the door that you did not notice before. And the door appears to be locked when you try it.
That's strange. Zito's gonna knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, get no response.
That's strange. I wonder how long we have been gone. Zito is gonna see if he can find a crew member, the captain.
Okay. Zito, as you begin to move about this deck, you notice that there are shutters on the the two sets of stairs that head up to the top of the deck, because you guys are currently on the midsection. The top deck has been shut off from you. There is a steel shutter sealing it.
Is it possible to open the shutters, or is it just sealed completely?
Well, you have not encountered these shutters before, but your companions have. What's the rest of the group doing?
I will look in the general direction where the captain is and cast message. Captain.
Okay. And what do you say?
These shutters are closed. Are we under attack? You can reply to this message.
You hear... There's a pause, bit of a pause, and you hear... Ah, yes. The stowaways. I was beginning to wonder where you had all gone off to. The passengers and crew in the top deck is now off limits to you until we reach our destination.
I turn to them. Yeah, we're not on our top deck no more.
I'm not a stowaway.
Yeah. So we're all stowaways. But
You're stowaways.
Well, technically, I'm House Leandar, so I should never be a stowaway on my own ship. But this captain thinks otherwise. Oh, don't worry. I'll let them know. My house know about this.
Oh, Zito, you are a paying passenger?
Yes, I am.
Maybe we can use that to our advantage.
What do you have in mind, Lathana?
Well, I'm not sure yet. Just an idea. Eli, do you mind asking the captain how long it's been since we talked to you?
No problem. Hi there, Captain. How long has it been since how long until we reach our destination? You can reply to this message.
Well, since the last time I saw you, it's probably been about 15 hours. So you've got another day and a half before we reach our destination.
We got another day and a half on board.
And then I turn you all over to the authorities.
He said he's turning us all over to the authorities.
Can you ask him if anything strange has gone on in the last 15 hours?
Captain, is there anything strange that gone on in the last few hours? Don't forget, you can reply to this message.
It has been blissfully quiet since you and your ilk disappeared from the ship.
Eli,
While you're
should ask
talking to the captain, can you...
Sorry, both you and
Yeah.
Cortire are talking at the same time.
I have no idea what they said.
Hey, go ahead.
Eli, perhaps you should ask him why he's turning us over to the authorities.
Alright. Hi, Captain. Why are you turning us over to the authorities?
And there's another pregnant pause, if you will. And he says, "You are joking. You must be."
He said I'm joking.
You slaughtered everyone
on the second level deck. We found bodies in all of the rooms.
So apparently Gunny did and killed people, and so they found bodies on the second day. So we're all gonna be charged with murder, apparently.
Well, how do they know that it was us? Because we've been gone for several hours. It could have been the bad guy.
Aye, Captain. How do you know it was us? See, the bad guy was down here killing people while we were gone for several hours.
I will let the authorities sort that out when they interrogate you all.
So, I guess the authorities are going to interrogate us all. Yeah. So, unless we find a way off this ship, we're probably going to be all arrested.
And then you hear, and also in response, he also says to you that, or he asks, I guess, as part of the response to your message, if you found the person you were looking for while you were murdering the rest of the crew.
No, we actually ran into some problems that we got teleported off, and now we're back. Surprise! And so, because of him, so he probably murdered everyone while we were gone.
I think that was more than 25 words, but okay.
I'll do in a couple messages. Yeah, okay. Probably. It's a what do you call cancer? It's it's at will. So
I understand.
So I'll just be all these messages start going.
So he responds to you. It sort of glosses over your response, and he says, "Well, what you did to that poor little girl. You're not you're not human."
Gunny, did you kill a girl? So apparently a girl died down here.
What? The little girl? Something happened?
I'll cast message again and be well, when we were searching the cabin, actually the girl was alive. And we tried to, and then, all that stuff that I told you before, we got teleported, and now we're back, surprise! So, it wasn't us.
Perhaps Zito can vouch for us.
See, I'll send another message. We even have a paying customer that could...
You mean one that you didn't slaughter? Someone actually survived?
Oh, yes. See, we didn't slaughter anybody. I didn't.
From his response, you can hear a sound of rustling papers. And he says, "Who? Which one of the passengers are you referring to?"
Zito, what's your full name?
My full name is Zito.
Oh, okay. Zito. He's a kobold about this high. I try to describe what he's wearing.
And the captain responds and says, "Yes, I know of the artificer from Sharn, Zito. We had assumed he was part of the dead. We had assumed you'd done something with his body."
Can you tell him let me back in my room?
I'll send another message. Captain, see, Zito's locked out of his room now, and he would like to go in his room because he did pay for it.
And
I mean, we did help save Zito at some point as well, right?
I'll relay that message too.
Wink, wink.
We're here to save the crew.
There's an audible click, and the lock disengages from your door, Zito.
Zito's gonna go into his room.
Okay. It looks neatly made. There's some droplets of blood still staining in the carpet from when you inadvertently activated the Shard of Erebus.
Is that card that I received still around here, or has it been Or has that disappeared?
You can investigate the room if you like.
I'll do that.
Okay. Okay. You find under your bed, poking out just a little bit, the end of the bed, you find the Taroka card. But when you turn it over, the surface of the card is blank. It's grayed out.
It just looks like a generic card.
Just looks like a placeholder card. Doesn't look like it's part of any deck. There's nothing on the surface of the card.
So he's gonna put it in his bag for now.
Okay. The captain makes... Suddenly there's an audible sound that echoes through the halls of this level of the ship. I have your attention, please, for all surviving members of crew and passengers. Please remain in your rooms for the duration of our flight. If you wish to exit your chamber for any means necessary, the top deck is still off limits. To the handful of individuals I am addressing now, the bottom level of the deck, the cargo area, is available to you for resting.
Well, he said we could go sleep. It's been a long time. Pretty hurt.
Yeah, same with me. I could definitely use a rest.
Would you all like to pass the time to take a full rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
we need it.
It's right now it's roughly 10:30 in the morning.
Oh man.
So you guys basically have the rest of the day to just hang out.
Well, while we have the time, Zito's gonna take the time to cast Find Familiar again and get his Raven back.
Okay. Your Raven suddenly poofs into existence next to you.
Alright, good night all. I gotta go.
All right. So the rest of you are spending time on the ship. You only have the middle and the bottom decks to explore. All of the rooms appear to be locked. What are you all doing for the rest of the day?
Zito's gonna perform basic maintenance on his equipment.
Okay.
Cortari will be meditating while she's resting.
Okay. Endor just sort of has a solemn look on his face, kneeling down in a quiet corner of one of the decks, cleaning his sword.
Eli will go to a quiet place and open the urn.
Of course you will.
Before that, though, he asks Gunny, "Hey, Gunny."
Gunny just sort of turns and walks away from you.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, he had to go.
What about you, Ari? What are you doing?
But I know Mark's response.
I'm probably just gonna be keeping to myself. Maybe explore a little bit down in the cargo. Find a comfortable place to rest.
Okay. And you, Lithana, what are you doing?
Lithana will sit and half meditate, half try to see if she can remember any tracking skills for vampires.
Okay. So Eli, you are going to attempt to open the urn?
Yeah, so I know Mark said he didn't want to be left within the curse. So, he talks to Gunny. That was the only other thing he was going to use it for.
Okay.
But Gunny's like, nah. So, he'll open it himself.
Okay. I will say that it takes you some time. But at some point in time during the day, you're able to yank the stopper from out of this thing, and you're able to open it. And as you do, a voluminous cloud, this pink cloud, jets out from the urn, wherever you're located on the ship. And a blue-skinned humanoid wearing very parachute-style pants, festooned in jewels and gems, wearing sort of an embroidered red vest, and a white turban with a red feather at the front of it sticking straight up, comes out. And he says, "Greetings. You who have summoned me and released me from my bonds. What is your wish?" "I will grant one wish to you, if it is within my power to do so."
Eli will write it for next week.
Okay. So, you see this, and I'll share the image with you. He's wielding a sword at his side. The pink smoke sort of curls out from the top of the urn, cascades down across the floors. You see this large, airy, floating elemental creature in front of you, its arms crossed, regarding you. This question weighing heavy in your mind and in your heart. This promise of power. This wish. Within your grasp, finally. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Whoop whoop.
Sorry you had to lay on a table and get your blood let out.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I'm recording.
Oh my god.
It's all good, man.
Anyways.
We all get a little ill, get a little sicky. We have our moments when we're not 100%,
Mm-hmm. So hey, Mark, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. Other than Betty's in quarantine, right?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just typed Derek. Well, apparently she decided to go out with a friend's daughter on Friday to celebrate, Saturday, sorry, to celebrate, Chinese New Year.
Oh, Jesus.
And then at the end of the conversation, it said, "Oh yeah, we got this guy that just came back from Wuhan on January 12th. That now has the flu, and I'm waiting to hear back from work from our health and safety people
Wow.
to see if it's going to be anything that we need to worry about."
Wow, well, I hope she's doing okay.
Well, she's doing fine. It's just precaution.
Well,
Yeah, that's scary.
Well, if she needs anything, I'm sure that all of us local people will be able to reach out and help you guys out.
Well, the best bet would be stay away, just in case it is something.
Yeah, well, I meant send a crock pot full of chicken noodle soup or something.
Yeah, drop out of the front at the front door and run away.
I'm just gonna pitch it out the door and keep driving.